Bogus charges of racism are among the preferred tactics of the new radical left. Now, they casually charge white supremacy to demonize political opponents and deflect criticism of their own intolerance and anti-Semitism. Now, when Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats considered a House resolution condemning the anti-Semitism of a couple of the squad members, well, she ended up getting bullied into a watered-down version to include all hate. Well, that concession by Pelosi and her glowing comments about AOC +3 at this morning's press conference shows us where the real juice is in the new Democrat Party. Well, despite Speaker Pelosi's claim to be a friend of Israel, she has been loath to publicly distance herself from the resolution that Reps Omar and Tlaib introduced to reaffirm support for the BDS movement against Israel. It's a boycott movement. Although it was voted down just 2 days ago, the progressive street and social media are rife with anti-Israel sentiment today. Here to react is Rabbi Spero. He's a spokesman for the National Conference on Jewish Affairs. Rabbi, how concerned should American Jews today be about this growing anti-Israel force within the radical left and seeping into the Democrat Party?
Any self-respecting Jew should be concerned. You know, back in the early part of March, when we asked the Speaker to condemn the blatant anti-Semitism coming out of the mouth of Ilhan Omar, and she refused to do it, and she watered it down basically to condemn Islamophobia as something even worse than anti-Semitism. That was a harbinger of things to come. And what we now have is this absurd notion that if you call yourself a woman of color or you call yourself a Muslim woman, that you are beyond criticism. Worse than that, you have the right to spew forth anti-Semitism, anti-Israelism, things that are anti-American, and things that are very derogatory towards the founding fathers, American people, white people. You have a complete right to do that. But then somehow you have this immunity if someone rightfully criticizes you because they disagree with your particular point of view, you're called Islamophobic or you're called racist. We cannot tolerate, we can't accept such a situation in America. Not only does it take away our freedom of speech, but we'll have no political conversation.
Now, well, I need to play Congresswoman Tlaib from this week, Rabbi, making this claim about a resolution condemning that boycott and divestment measure. Watch.
Americans of conscience have long and proud history of participating in boycotts, specifically to advocate for human rights abroad. Americans boycotted Nazi Germany. Our right to free speech is being threatened with this resolution.
Rabbi, how does she put condemning Nazi barbarism on par with attacking Israel? What?
Listen, this is not about free speech. You can say whatever you want in this country. Matter of fact, when people complain about Donald Trump that he's somehow authoritarian, there's more anti-Trump, there's more free speech coming from the left than ever. The problem with what they want with the BDS is ultimately they want the replacement, the destruction of the state of Israel. There's a big difference between free speech as opposed to taking an action that has as its goal the destruction of a legitimate state, because that is a Jewish state, and basically what they're saying is they do not want Jews as Jews to have the right to have their own state, even though there are 57 Islamic states.
All right, Rabbi, thank you so much for your perspective tonight.